On Star Trek, Strange New Worlds, the USS Enterprise's 4.5 Vulcans turn out to be too many. Strange New Worlds' third Vulcan-centric comedy, in as many seasons, 4.5 Vulcans is a humorous, eyebrow-raising comedic romp that was written by Dana Horgan and Henry Alonzo Myers and directed by Jordan Canning. On board the USS Enterprise, Nurse Christine Chapel, Jess Bush, Captain Christopher Pike, Anson Mount, Ensign Yoda Uhura, Celia Rose Gooding, and Lieutenant Lan Noonien Singh, Christina Chung, all transform into various pointy-eared threats when their transformation into Vulcans cannot be undone. Because of Vulcan Captain Pike's extreme efficiency, Uhura's deceptive connection strategies, and Chapel's preference for reason over human interaction, the rest of Starship Enterprise's crew almost loses their heads. But when Lan's Vulcan DNA awakens something innate in her, she becomes a terrifying threat. Even though the term 4.5 Vulcans is absurd because the episode actually features 6.5 Vulcans, this is how things work on Star Trek, Strange New World. What the crew of Star Trek, Strange New Worlds learned from Captain Pike's Vulcan experience as a Vulcan. Christopher Pike was more effective, louder, and his hair reached even higher altitudes. However, Chris demonstrated that a pointy-eared Pike does not make a better captain of the Enterprise by putting his spaceship on an absurd schedule rotation and being forthright with his girlfriend, Captain Marie Battelle Melanie Scrofano, and her human scent. The reason Lan needed Spock's assistance to quit being Vulcan because the injection of Vulcan DNA triggered something innate inside her. The heightened genetics Lan inherited from her ancestor, Khan Noonien Singh. Ricardo Montalban. She behaved differently from the other Vulcans. Lan turned evil, aggressive, and plotted to initiate an interplanetary conflict as a Vulcan. Number 1's previous relationship is revealed in Star Trek, Strange New Worlds using a Vulcan in addition to giving Lieutenant Commander Una Chin Riley, Rebecca Romine, the backstory that Star Trek fans have been waiting 60 years for. Star Trek, Strange New Worlds introduced Patton Oswalt as Doug. Number 1 had been dating Doug 15 years earlier, about 2246, a year after the Constitution-class USS Enterprise was launched. Strange New Worlds in Star Trek prepare Captain Battelle's departure even, though Captain Marie Battelle, Melanie Scrofano, exploded in rage. With the two Vulcans during her meal with Pike and Vice Admiral Pasalk Graham Somerville, Pasalk was still impressed by Marie. Battelle accepted Pasalk's offer to serve as the Judicial Department's Judge Advocate General for Starfleet. Marie is no longer a starship captain. Scotty shares his favorite Star Trek character with Kirk's team the first series while on leave from the USS Farragut, Hobby Commander. James T. Kirk Paul Wesley was beaming aboard the Starship Enterprise when Scotty Martin Quinn joined him for a drink. Scotty and Kirk were the first to learn that the Vulcan Lan had evil designs for the Enterprise, therefore inviting him along proved to be a mistake.